Hello, welcome to my workshop. My name's Jeff McDonald, and today I'm going to start a new bowl similar to this one. See if you can see that, except the horizontal lines, the maple lines horizontal, I'm not going to include them. I'm going to include the vertical. I think it's going to turn out to be an interesting bowl, so keep watching. Alright, as you see the cut sheet here, I don't know if you can read that, but the SEL is the length of the segment, and that's my important number right now. I'm cutting each block, each segment piece. I gotta have that number. I've already cut the first 2 rows. Now I'm gonna cut the 4th row. The width of this board is 2¼ inches, but the SEL is 0.618. So what I do is I get my little handy dandy calipers here, 0.618. Other people might do this different. I kind of like doing it the way I'm going to do it, show you. I have my stick, and I put the mark on the stick. That's going to be the segment width. When I say the segment width, it's the outside part of the bowl. The segments pieces for the outside of the bowl are going to be wider than on the inside, you know, just obviously, but so we go by that number. Once I get that little tick mark, I come over here to my saw and I line it up. You get the stop in place. Now with the stop in place, all I got to do is start cutting wood. So, on the back system. Big piece of black walnut. Now a church is selling these off because their church in a hurricane a year ago got destroyed, and so they're having to rebuild. And right now they're not going to use these in the rebuild, so they're selling them. This is all solid black walnut, and it was for each of the rows of the pews. Well, they were chairs. They were attached to chairs. Anyway, I picked up some of them, and I'm using this wood to make this bowl. Now it's time to put a ring together. We begin by gluing. I glue all this stuff up. I'll probably fast forward it because it can be very boring. But I get all the glue on. There should be enough glue. I'm holding it with my right hand, putting a little bit of pressure up against this rail here so it doesn't move too much. Because if not, this brush will make all them little pieces move about, you know. There we go. It doesn't take too long, but all right, I'm going to move the camera. Alrighty. Throw some wood up first. And start building. I'm definitely going to fast forward this, so. Is take a clamp. Actually, I'm going to start with a rubber band because that helps straighten it up better. Let's see. Then I can straighten them all up, and then I'll put a steel clamp on them. This just holds them all in place when I'm putting the rubber band on or whatever clamp I'm using. It don't move. So. This clamp device is pretty much the only thing it's for. Putting together rings. I got to go around and straighten everything up while the glue is still pliable. It wants to pop out for some reason. I think it's because of all the glue and it's slippery. Yeah, it's pretty good. Okay, that's looking good. I'm going to pull the rubber band off and slip this one on. The steel band on. Okay. good. Yeah. The other, there it is. For some reason I can really tighten it down with this flat. There we go. Now I have this all clamped for this because these things will move around when I'm adding these pieces in. It's just very slippery. So this should be okay now. Voila. That's my third ring to make, so I got quite a few more to go. But I just wanted to show you how one's put together. All right, so here is all of our rings. These rings are going to become the bowls. So I'm going to start running them all through the drum sander, cleaning them up. Let me see here. I think that might be a good start.
Another rainy afternoon, I don't know what I'm to do. I just miss you more than anything.
I'm going to begin to put the bowl on the lathe so we can start building it piece by piece. But first thing I'm going to do is put the base. This is the base. It's going to go on here. And I'm going to glue it on there real quickly and go from there. Alrighty, here we go. It's that simple. I'll hold that on there. It'll be tomorrow that we'll start adding the other rings to this and slowly build it out. So if you've seen my videos, you know exactly what I'm doing. This is how I normally make all my segmented bowls. So time to start building a bowl. I attached this plate to a waste block. Now I'm going to start gluing them up, one row at a time. It's a very simple, boring part of the process. It just takes time. You know, I love wood turning, all kinds of wood turning. I really like segmented work. There's more moving parts to it, a lot to learn. There's a lot to learn about all wood turning, every kind of style and shape or whatever. I think I've got the mic on now. I don't know that I had it on before. All right, here we go. The rest of this is going to be really a fast process. I'm just going to build it without saying anything and just do everything fast forward. So. All right, I started out putting these together, stacking them on the lathe, but I was having trouble getting everything to line up. So instead, I brought it over to here. This is another way I do it. First, I put it where I want it, make a mark, put a line around the whole thing, and then I just take this off, glue, put it back on. Very simple. Now I'm not going to show every one of these. This is only one, and then I'm going to stack them all, and then we'll get started turning them, okay? But I just wanted to give you an idea how I do this. How a lot of people do it this way, and the only reason I like to do it on the lathe, it definitely guarantees that it's balanced. But today it wasn't balancing out. The lines just weren't lining up. So anyway, here, let me put glue on this side. I'm not sure you can see this from there. I like to glue both sides. Use a lot of glue. I'll put this in the clamp for like 15-20 minutes, and that'll hold strong enough for me to put another layer on or another ring on. I call them rings. I don't know what else to call them. I think that's what they're called. I can't remember. All right. Okay, that's where my mark is. Kind of pushing down. Trying to get it where I want it. Takes a minute. It's off a little bit. There we go. Let's come back this way. Ah, that's looking really good right there. Okay. I gotta watch this. It's like, yeah, it's gonna slide a little bit. Glue is slippery. All right, now it's time to get this thing turned down. Best part for me is this part right here. I mean, I've enjoyed, I enjoy building them, creating them, designing them, but this is the best part by far. So, alrighty. You know what? A little wobbly. I'm going to bring the tailstock up for safety. Get me a ring that fits that. 1 second. That's about a 9-inch ring, I think, maybe 10. Yeah, 10 works good. Yeah, it keeps it pressed down, pressed against the everything, so it won't come off. I mean, the only weak spot right now would be this glue joint, but I'm sure it's pretty solid. Alrighty. Well, let's listen to some music.
what I'm to do. I just miss you more than anything. It's way too quiet in the house. I'm just wasted on the couch. Guess I don't wanna feel anything. Wish you'd stayed here beside me. This isn't how it's supposed to be. Wish you'd stayed here right with me. I can't shake that feeling that we said goodbye too soon. I know the hour's getting late. I shouldn't sit here contemplating. I just can't stop thinking about us. I won't forget a single thing, from drunken nights to Sunday mornings, and how you smile at me. Wish you'd stayed here beside me. This isn't how it's supposed to be. Wish you'd stayed here right with me. I can't shake that feeling that we said goodbye too soon.
About there was a little spot down here I got to work on a little bit more, define that a little bit better. That's better. I had to approach this real slow to keep from the fibers being pulled out. I did a pretty good job because this piece here, it is the only piece that's just a piece of wood, a board per se, and so as it's spinning, you have in grain and with grain, and against the grain and with grain, and against the grain causes a pull out if you go across the wood real fast, or fast at all. You got to go really slow. All the rest of this is with the grain as you go. Now all the white here, it is against the grain, but it's so small it's not really affected that much by it. So, but I think we're in pretty good shape here. I think we can go ahead and switch. That's good enough for sanding. I can probably sand with 120 or something later and get the rest of it. But I'm going to move the camera and do the inside now. Let's see here. Okay, I got the bowl all sanded. Now what I'm going to do is start the finishing. I like to use this axe system when I do this, when I do my segment bowls, okay? And it starts with what's called axe. It's a tongue oil, pure virgin tongue oil. Step one. Then what I'll do is I'll use axe abrasive powder, a paste, I'm sorry. And after that, it'll be a wax. So what you do is you just smear this stuff on by hand is the easiest way. I mean, I could use a rag, but it's just quicker. Just you get your hands into it. So now this will have to set on here, maybe even overnight. I don't know. It depends on how quickly. Maybe in a couple hours I'll be able to go to the next step. But you want it to soak in to the wood and then be dry. So, you know, sometimes that depends on the atmosphere, what's going on, right? Let me get the outside of this. You can't see this part, but you know what I'm doing. Now, after I remove this from the bottom, remove the waste block, and I do the bottom, prepare the bottom, I'll be doing the same thing to it. All right. So there's that part. Looks pretty, huh? I like that look. Looks pretty good. All right. All right, now the next step is this. Axe abrasive sanding paste. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put it all over, and then I'm gonna turn on the lathe on slow, semi-slow, and then over time I'll speed up the lathe. Okay. And same as before, I'm just going to use, luckily I have lots of this on hand because I'm about out. This one's about out. Okay, I'll come back when I get this all over everything. All right, I've got this paste all over the inside. I already did the outside back here because you can't see that anyway, but I went ahead and it's time to do the inside. And it's pretty, it's pretty boring stuff. The paste is on, and I just put pressure, mild pressure, as I go over the surface. And all it's doing is it's pretty much sanding. It's a grit sand, and it's almost like sanding at 1,000 grit. Now I only went up to 320 grit to begin with, so they recommend you go much higher, but when I'm using resin, if I've got resin included, I would go much higher first before I did this step. But being this is a black walnut, I don't know that it's that important, so I just went ahead and went to 320. I guess I'm being lazy, huh? But anyway, it'll still turn out nice. Either way, it'll be about the same. So I just keep applying pressure. Now I'm at 500 RPM. I'm going to turn it up here. Let's see. Let's go about 8. This does a wonderful job. I love this process. I don't normally use it if I'm just doing like a tree limb kind of turning, but I like to use a tongue oil or something at that time, but everyone's got their own ways, I guess, and they all work. You get different results though. You can see it's just coming off as a liquid now. And when I get done with this, I'll just take a towel and remove any excess. And then what we'll do is we'll use a wax. And that's the final step. Alright, now it's time to do wax. I'm just going to do like I did before, use my hands, get the wax all over the wood. I come back with a rag. Now the rag, I also put the wax on, just like I did the other materials. I put the wax, the sanding polish on the rag with it on the wood too. So I have plenty of that polish on there. Now I'm going to use polish, do the same thing. I don't know, I'm probably talking all over myself, sorry. But anyway. Get this wax everywhere. Plenty of wax. Got plenty of wax, we can use it up.
Okay. I'll take my rag, my wax rag, which I reuse the same rag for this. Got wax on it. And I'm gonna get it all over real quick. And then I'm gonna turn the speed up, and I'm gonna really kind of almost burnishing it into the wood. It's splattering all over me now. I'm up to 1100 RPMs. Yeah, it's looking really good. I can tell from now. All right, now let's get this cut off. I'm gonna go fairly slow. I'm at about 600, 650. I have a thin parting tool from D-Way Tools. I like this tool a lot. Works really well. Now I've gone in over an inch. I get nervous at this point. I don't know how well the glue held, and so I just got to be careful here. Okay, I'm going to take a saw to it now. It don't take much with this parting tool. It cuts really well. Get this out of the way. Now I'm kind of paranoid. I could have went further maybe and take less saw cuts, but I'd rather just play safe than sorry. That only took, what, a minute with the saw, so it didn't take too long. All right. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this, put the Coles jaws on to hold this, and we'll go from there. I'll be right back. Just put it on my Coles jaws. What I like to do is put some blue tape on these rubber bumper things, because if I find that the black on the bumper gets all over the wood, and then I got to try to clean it off after it's got a final finish on it and wax and everything. So I don't like to do that. So I put tape on it, and that does a pretty good job of protecting that. So alrighty, I got to put it on the inside because of how the bowl's made, and so I'm putting the pressure going outward. Works really well. Now bring the tailstock up. I'm not sure, you can't see this part, but you can hear me. Now I don't like using this particular tool on the tailstock because it acts like a splitting maul, right? Like that, it can actually split that piece right in half. So I like to change it out with this, a cup, and it won't split it. So it's not guaranteed that it will split it, but I've had it happen. So all right, that's working good. Now I got to bring the tailstock up, put a little pressure on it, not a lot, just a little pressure to hold it against this so it doesn't come loose. Now, all I got to do is clean this up. Now you're not going to be able to see my tool from where the camera is, but I really can't get a good advantage for that camera. Well, maybe I can. Let me try a new spot. Alright everyone, the bowl is finished. Turned out really nice. I think it turned out really nice. Kind of way I was planning this to turn out, which don't always happen. Pretty simple bowl to make. It's just when you're making the rings, you got all these pieces, so you got to be careful, right? Here's the bottom. Turned out really pretty, I think. I like just a plain. I don't like it like cut a lot of holes. I used to cut ridges and did still. I like it clean looking like that. All right. Now this bowl, generally you want the foot of a bowl about 1/3 of the diameter of the bowl. This is a little bit more than that, probably about half the bowl diameter, but I like that big foot because, you know, it's not going to rock. It's not going to come off. So anyway, we got her done. I appreciate you watching. I appreciate you subscribing. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. Ring that bell, that notification bell. That way you'll be notified when I have anything new coming out. And with that, I want to say God bless. Have a great day.